Our entertainment and media outlook forecasts predict that the UK entertainment and media market in 2014, the end of our forecast period, will be worth almost 88 billion US dollars. That's 56 billion pounds. That's up from 2009's number of $73 billion and represents a 3.7% compound annual growth rate over the 5-year period in the UK, which is comparable to what we think will happen in Western Europe, but is slower than our overall growth rate for the globe, where our prediction is 5% because it's being buoyed by faster growth rates in Asia Pacific and Latin America. The $88 billion in 2014 breaks down as $51 billion on consumer spending, $24 billion that advertisers will spend, and $13 billion that we spend to access the internet. And it's that internet growth story that continues to drive much of the change in our entertainment and media markets. By the end of 2014, we forecast that 25.25 million households in the UK will have access to the internet. That's a 96% penetration, and all but 1% of that will be broadband penetration. So the 25 million broadband households we see in 2014 is up from 18 million broadband households last year, which is an increase from just under 70% penetration to 95% penetration. Now that's wired households. The really big story is in the movement in mobile internet access. Last year, just under 10 million people subscribed to a mobile internet access package. Over the course of the next 5 years and by the end of 2014, we forecast that 10 million number will have grown to 24.5 million people. That's a compound annual growth rate of 20% in mobile internet access for the next 5 years. Now, entertainment and media companies have faced disruptive and ultimately liberating technologies many times in its history. What we see as different this time is 3 things. First is the speed of change. The second is that really costly barriers to entry that have existed historically in content creation or distribution are all being eroded. And thirdly and crucially, it's happening to all segments of the market at the same time, to publishing, to television, to movies, across the entire spectrum rather than just in a single segment. Now, if we look back a year at what we forecast for 2009 in last year's outlook, we predicted that the economic slowdown would in fact accelerate the pace of change, and we were spot on. What we did see, though, is that some areas where we forecast growth grew faster than we expected, and areas which we'd identified for decline have declined faster than we thought they would. What that says to us is that even when the path is clear and the direction of travel is known, the speed of other vehicles on that road mean that you still have to be agile and awake in order to catch up and to pass other people. It also means business models are under intense scrutiny, but crucially, when I look at how we break down that $88 billion for 2014 in the UK, take out the $13 billion that we'll spend accessing the internet, because that goes to internet service providers rather than to entertainment and media companies. Of the remaining $75 billion, that splits 20% on new revenue streams, but still 80% on existing analogue, offline, physical models, such as TV subscriptions, TV advertising, physical newspapers, physical magazines, going to the cinema. Therefore, what that says to us is it's crucial to still continue to invest in your existing models and your existing customers, but to use the money that generates into extending and enhancing the experience that your customers have with you all day, in every aspect of their lives, at home, at work, and crucially now, when they're on the move.